you guys were back after that episode. So, I promised I'd tell you both everything that I know about the Phantom, this strange figure calling themselves RB. The day it all started. It was shortly after we were born. The same day, we each claimed our corners and took our first gulps of life in this tank. As shameful as it might sound, I've been keeping a secret since that day. The day we first met each other. Axie, Lana, perhaps. Do you recall the feeling of being deliberately born? The alien feeling of having an entire unfamiliar world in front of you. It's something I'll never forget. An eerie fever dream. A childlike excitement of wonder. I think that, now, after reflecting on it a bit, that feeling was of immense relief. Being born in a tank was like opening my eyes after a coma. Like breathing fresh air after being strangled for so long. It was a relief to be in this environment, truly. But relief wasn't the only thing I felt that day. After the initial calm waned, something happened. I felt a spark of motivation. An old ember inside me burned anew. That old spark, which has fueled many of my decisions up to this point, can only be described as an intangible sense of unfinished business. These confusing bursts of emotions, well, I like to think they're controlled by it now. But the nightmares, they do still visit me on occasion. I was, of course, drawn to the void that day. That's why the lab is in such close proximity to it, as you both know. Part of being drawn to my void was that instinctual wonder I just mentioned, the feeling of unfinished business, pushed me towards what, longingly, seemed to be the only exit contained within the four walls of our surroundings. That's right. Even if the emotions are controlled, the ember is still lit. Going home still remains my goal, and I doubt that's going to change anytime soon. Our various obsessions, those who are obsessed with each other, those who are obsessed with sickness, and those who are obsessed with themselves. The obsessions may have different details, but the way of obsessive thinking always stems from the same chance of logic. That's why I fear, and I hope, that me telling you two about these messages will not unleash a madness within you, as it had done to me on that first day. These are the messages I received. From who, I do not know. Not really. All I know is that the mystical bits of vague information they've chosen to give me. We can come to some conclusions though through this information. We can come to some conclusions through this information there about our phantom benefactor. I yet to confirm the reading of these letters that they address themselves as R and P. I do have my theories, of course. I'm now ashamed to say that for the last few months, I've put this phantom's words over you two. Putting the words of a complete stranger over the two in front of me, who I see in the flesh every day. It's starting to seem so silly now. I'm a little ashamed. I should have just been myself, but that emotional ember burned too bright. In the other words, the promise of going home was made me forgo my wits. It's obvious that this RB is not on our side. Angst new powers. That was the straw that broke the camel's back and convinced me otherwise. If only we'd have this conversation earlier. Perhaps Liam wouldn't have had to have been dragged into this mess. As the realization dawns on me, I am starting to truly regret my one-sided relationship with RB. I want you both to know that. At this stage, I can only pray that the void somehow opens up to us again. I'm not sure if we can go in there through our side without special circumstances. Yeah, actually, I remember. And I'm sorry for that incident too. Because of that time, Maxie, I've got a hypothesis. With that time, Maxie, I've got a hypothesis. That the void is a closed curtain through which can only be accessed to one side. To put it another way, imagine as though we axolotls are rabbits who fell into a trap, with no way out unless the hunter, RB, decides to take what's in us. If we walk into the void haphazardly, then yes, our future is unseen. If the void is truly closed off, I don't know how I'm going to live with myself. The thought makes me dread. What? The messages? No, I'm not trying to write time mode. Okay, that's enough. I'm very nervous about revealing even the little I know, just in case I misunderstood the messages. Or what if RB is really telling the truth? I suppose that I've already disobeyed him by talking to you guys. So what is there to lose now? Okay, the first message. We were born alongside it. It was in my notebook. Yeah, the same one you see dangling around my neck all the time. You know I never leave home without it. Wait, it's attached to your neck? Oh. The message wasn't in plain sight. I think by hiding the messages, RB was making sure they only got to me. But well, as you'll soon hear, there is evidence against it too. On the first day of life, I was simply coming to terms with my existence, as I'm sure you both were too. Looking through my notebook, that's a word back, contending with my thoughts. And in that strange haze, my fingers noticed something odd. One of the pages near the back of the notebook was slightly thicker than the rest. Something which should have been totally innocuous, but I had a feeling that something was off. After a bit of fumbling, I realized the strange thickness of the 2 pages of the notebook stuck together. It was 2 pages. Oh my gosh. After a bit of fumbling, I realized the strange thickness of 2 pages of the notebook stuck together. Realized the strange thickness was 2 pages of the notebook stuck together, and clear as day, one of the pages had a note written on it. Neil, do not read this message aloud if you're with the others. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Okay. It is for your eyes only. Is it only us now? I'll cut right to Jason. You probably haven't been taking very long, but you already miss home. Home. Does that word stick out to you? Does it light a fire in your tummy? I hope it does. I hope that your very essence is excited. If getting back home feels important, read on. Neil, I am the one who saved you from your miserable existence. I saved you for a reason. Your potential. Realize your potential and use it to aid me. That is the end goal of our engagement. Including you, there are 5 axolotls in this tank. 5 axolotls, each with potential. And yet, I plan to have only 1 essence under my command when all this is finished. Do you understand what that means? Do you want to live, or do you want to die? You may have a chance to go back to this home you desire under my guidance. There is only one rule I'd like you to follow for now. So if only one's gonna live, right? But he wants all of them. Is he gonna combine everyone together? Or, yeah, cause think about that, right? He wants them to unlock their full potential in the transitional. So if he gets them to unlock all their power, and then combines it into one, smart man. There's only one rule I'd like you to follow for now. You cannot show these letters to anyone else. Do not let anyone else know of my plan or my existence. Prove to me something, Neil. Prove to me that you are worth bringing home. For now, live your new life as an axolotl. RB. That was the first message. I discovered it in my notebook, not even 24 hours after awakening here, before that was even made. I had no idea how to react, yet, as the letter stated, I felt compelled by an urge to go home. I have told you both no falsehoods in our time together, but I did leave out I left these messages out because of that rule, not to share with others. But damn, that part about RB only picking one of us to go home, it never really sat well with me. It was soon apparent that some of the books that came through the void were fictional, and others were not fictional. I separated these books by category. As they came in each day, I learned about many things. Mostly, I learned about Earth. That's where I came from. I think that's where we all came from, if I had to guess. And so, I began slowly questioning all of you about your thoughts of this other world. I felt like maybe if you guys knew something, well, I was also curious if you all received that as well. I guess not, huh? Soon enough, within our first week there, I realized that I could pseudo-manipulate the void by putting in items that had relationships with other items. That sort of magic I was compared to as a strange type of alchemy. I already told you, Adson, but that's how I got the materials to construct my bookshelf and my lab. Eventually, RB did contact me again, 3 times in total, but from what it said, and the last message, I fear we may not hear from him again. The second message came in on a book that appeared 2 weeks after our birth. The comprehensive guide and study of axolotl biology. I have cross-referenced that book several times in our conversations, as you may remember. Any of you could have found this message, but I have not been able to snatch the book out of the void. Wait. Oh, any of you could have found this message had it not been there to snatch the book out of the void. By reversing the dust jacket. The message was written in big, blocky letters, and while it was much easier to find than the first message, it also had much less to say. How is life in the tank treating you so far? Are you and the others getting along? Are you on the way to realizing your potential? There are others who have been stealing my attention lately. I wonder if one day, when you fully mature, you'd like to meet some of the other candidates. That is, if you even get to that point. I'm teaching a certain someone how to fetch. Would you like to learn how to fetch too, one day? Well, despite my attention to other matters, I still have hope in this little tank. Proves to me that you are ready. I don't care how long it takes anymore. Time is time in the sense that you know it. Is a trivial matter to my kind, but I do care about results. If you can figure out the truth of this place that you're in, that may be enough to sway me into granting your desire for home. No promises, though. The truth of this place. RB. With this message, I had confirmed a few suspicions I had. We were in some kind of test, not just against each other, but maybe even others beyond the tank. Actually, I'm not sure if direct competition is correct, but this RB is orchestrating some sort of missing contest. The other thing I concluded was that the victory condition for this missing contest. That's why, up until this point, I've tried reasoning about various things. About my past life, about our existence here, our relationships, and our obsessions. In this regard, nothing I have is fully concrete. Only guesses. Hypotheses. I started to think long and hard about these messages, and what they meant to go home. I wanted to figure out the secret of the tank, and finding out how to manipulate the void seemed like a logical first step in achieving that. At one point, in the time between the first and second messages, terrible nightmares plagued me every night. Thus, for a brief time, I stopped thinking so much, and gave in fully to my emotions. I did manage to break out of that stupor though, only to crawl right back in it when the void stopped looking later on. I think a hard slap to the face, realizing that we were not alone, kicked some sanity in my face. The reality of you guys, the empty space around the tank, the very real sensations of swimming in and then my waking hours all brought me back to the mindset of freezing and nausea. I think I told you before, Axel. Nothing about our existence makes any sense. In the tank, we play by different rules than those who live on Earth. I begin to think, if we weren't in the tank, then where were we? I still don't know, not really. I'm not even sure if it's explainable in the traditional sense, if Albie is truly a higher being, as he so boasts. Yet, as angelic as he tries to make himself in these messages of superiority, Isn't it also quite unfair that Arby is just ushering us along? That's why I'm done playing by his rules. My guess is that Enk was the candidate Arby was looking for, and that his last test was a taking him back. Who was to say what's going on happen now? By all accounts, you avoid not looking anymore, and the third message. It seems like Arby may be done with the three of us who remain. So the void stopped working after Liam went. Where'd the babies come from? Because the way you worded that, or how the babies came, sounded like they did not come from birthing. Yes, that's right. I did say that there were 3 messages in total. The third message actually came in on the same day that Enk first got absorbed into the void. Oops, it was only a month or 2 ago. And it actually was with the, at the time, the message came in. It was the last item that came to the void. Yeah, the message that came in on a very peculiar book called. Oh, let's look again. Third time reference. Everything. My discovery on the Rikosho, the world's oldest and deadliest civilization, written by Dr. Gatz. I flipped through the book immediately, sensing the odd flavor in it, even as you were beside me. That did actually. Yet even if it did strike me as odd, in that odd. Okay, hold on 1 second. I am going to blow my nose. Okay, we're back. Yet, even if it did strike me in that last moment as slightly odd, I didn't, at the time, imagine that this journal was one of the vehicles in which Arby would send one of his messages. You have to understand that books came through every day in the preceding weeks, sometimes multiples, so I was hoping for a fun, fictional book today. I found the message that afternoon. Actually, as I was reading through the message for the first time after decoding it, I heard a knock on the door from Dana. That was a busy day, if I recall. That was the same day when Alcy had his violent encounter with Enk. Back when Enk was just a regular Axolotl. I'm taking the utilization view, but frankly, utilitarian view. But frankly, his life was not worth the 2 of yours, or even not Liam's. Although, unlike Arby, I do not claim to be of any sort of higher morality, and am not fit to be the judge of matters such as that. Anyway, the last message. It did not feel like the other messages. It was foreboding, but short. I did not imagine it to be the last message at the time. Let me talk about the strange book it came on. After reading the book, sometimes I still don't get what the Rikosho is all about. To put it simply, the story is about an archaeological professor named Dr. Gatz, and his dealings with a supernatural entity known as the Rikosho. The book goes into great detail describing his own egotism, his disdain for the known intellect and most of his students, and his ambition for great discovery. On a business trip to South America, he finds relics to an ancient civilization that was unknown to him before, the Rikosho. His first folklore overcomes his honor, and so he does not tell his colleagues about this discovery, instead compiling all the research into a journal. His plan is to make a big splash, reveal it to a large publication all at once when he's firmly secured all of the tribe's secrets. He learns more about this tribe, how their god is known as everything, how they had a ceremony called the Messenger, while exploring the strange caves. Meanwhile, as Dr. Gatz spends his years gathering more information, hiring shady, cheap workers instead of qualified archaeologists, he continues to teach in order to fund his private endeavor. I feel like you could have fit that word in. Well, a central conflict in this journal comes about as Dr. Gatz becomes increasingly more paranoid that one of his old students is out to get him. A student who he later finds out has been enrolled in various classes he's taught for decades, unbeknownst to him. Eventually, the journal ends, and it is presumed that Dr. Gatz meets an unfortunate end from his old student, who is somehow connected with the Rikosho. I'm sorry if that was a little confusing, but that is a very basic summary of this odd tale. When the whole story was written in first person, and in a very specific type font that resembled handwriting. The book was odd in other ways too. There wasn't even a copyright section near the front. The important thing, the message from RB, was easy to find. It was on the back cover of the book, printed right onto the last page. At some point in the story, Dr. Katz learns the strange bright blue alphabet from the Rico show, makes a handy chart for himself. Bright blue alphabet. Is it saying that Dr. Gatz is Neo? Like he's Dr. Neo Gatz or something? I don't know. He makes a chart for himself. RB's message was easily decipherable using the analog of the strange alphabet. Unfortunately, after I decoded it, the message disappeared. I only have my memory to go by, but I did write it as best as I could when I had the chance in my notes. It spoke of the conflict Axie and Egg would have later that day. Compared to the other two messages, this one was menacing and straight to the point. Hello, this is Abby. The conflicts in the tank may lead to one of you to kill another. I hope you understand the meaning of this, my meaning. If something goes wrong, you will know. If you want to die, if you want your soul to be erased, and your mind to depart. And it seems you can step into the void. It will kill those of you who are not chosen. The choice is yours, though. If you want to end your pathetic struggle, goodbye. It seemed as though, from the first two messages, that RB had a plan, and yet, somehow, in the time between them, it seems that I angered him. I wasn't sure what to make of it. But when the void stopped working the next day, I became panicked, and increasingly more worried as the weeks went by. I thought that Ink would produce some other item, not an enhanced version of himself. It's confusing. The void, RB, Dr. Gatz. It's all damn confusing. I'm still trying my best to make sense of everything. I'm sorry. I might have rambled on a bit, but there you have it, and that's my story. You know pretty much everything I do now. The bottom line is the void is broken, and Liam and Enk are gone. All signs point to us being trapped in here forever. But that can't be, guys. There is absolutely no way that could be true. That ember inside me, yearning for home, still burns brightly when I let it. I have to make the void work again. And then we'll be able to figure out a way out here. Because what is the alternative? That was one huge fucking wall of text. I think that was like 20 minutes of text. And again, I guess this whole game is text, so. Lately, it feels as though I'm lost in some great labyrinth. I run around and around, checking each wall for exits. But the maze only loops in on itself. The more I run, the more the walls tell me the truth. They whisper horrible things in my ear. It's impossible to fight against us, Neo. Accept your fate, like a good boy, Neo. But if that's true, then what? Do I just stop and make a home in this maze? It's an only small cage I find myself in, day after day. The more I ruminate on it, the worse the horrible existential thoughts become. Just, what is the point? What's the point of anything? If I can't get home, if I can't leave this maze, then just how the hell am I supposed to do for myself? Neo was close. Much too close to the void. Closer than he dared himself to be in a long time. If the currents change or his bounce slips up, there's no question. He would fall right in. How they got him getting this close? And yet, that didn't seem like an insane notion. Just walk forward and it'll all be over. His stress would be answered in kind. Damn it, what am I doing? This isn't logical. I know what my goal is. I know what I have to do. My goal is to make the void work again, so I can get back home. It's not like the void can be on a fix. Hold on. Well, turns out I have COVID, so. Yay. Am I gonna sneeze? What? What? No, I'm not. Okay. Despite what Albie implies, I refuse to believe that this is all that life been taken off him. It had been a few weeks since the incident with Enk and Liam. Despite Neo still feeding it very small items each day, the Void had yet to produce anything. So, after all this time, has the Void amounted to nothing more than an oversized garbage disposal? Were we really supposed to rot in here for all eternity? Like Albie implies. Stuff like the bunny trapped by the hunter. Is this worth being discarded? It's like, no. I refuse. I refuse, I refuse, I refuse. Albie, don't you dare underestimate me. I'm going to get back home. Wherever home is. You'll see. You'll definitely see. This variant of conversation was something Neo had struggled with a lot these past few weeks. It was times like these where he strained his brain to search through options he hadn't previously considered. And if that didn't work, then he'd strain his brain to think of something to cheer himself up. That's one book. He thought back to the book about human history that had come in on the second week, one of his most valuable and educational materials. And with this renewed sense of confidence, he hurried back to the lab. The moon. If a man was able to walk on the moon just 66 years after flying an airplane for the first time, then why shouldn't I be able to? No, that's a stupid example. The analog doesn't even make sense. Well, that's new. To wow, bog, act, a. How does that make any sense? What am I even saying right now? Alright. Let's be logical. Let's be practical. Do I have options at all? What are some things I haven't thought of yet? Again, he went back to the same thought pattern. The same conversation in his head. Sometimes he was successful in hyping himself up, and he had a brilliant spark of inspiration that led him to trying out something new. But ultimately, he was starting to realize that these thoughts did more harm than good, and as his plans had yet to bear any fruit. He knew he was slowly being beaten down by the harsh reality of this situation. Every day he waited, prayed, for something from the Void, a sign that he could still fight to go back home. He had nightmares too. At times, horrible thoughts invaded every crevice in his mind. When would Enk or Liam come back? Would Enk eventually come back even stronger to finish the rest of them off? Like he'd alluded? That remained to be seen. Okay, what items are to be sacrificed today? This hilt. Indeed, there was a hilt of the axe that they'd use against Enk to weaken his arm. This is one of the last things I own that isn't made out of paper. Please, Void. React to this. Please. He threw it in. Just like the last several items he threw in, the Void ate it up without question, making a scarce sound while doing so. What am I doing? Either the items didn't work, there's no way a rusty hilt would do anything. But except for that, I guess there's my notebook. I count. Not that. Is it time? Is it time to go to Plan A? The A in Plan A stood for Axie, obviously. He's the only one. Must somehow be the solution to this riddle. Dang it. Neo rummaged through his lab to find the sample of Axie. Even though there had been much less to do lately, he had let his lab get really unorganized. Ah, here it is. Small piece of Axie's flesh, that string he had used to hover over the Void. That's right. We just have to use Axie's skin to... The unthinkable happened. The Void ate up the piece of flesh. And just like that, his last stable hope vanished. What? What the hell does this mean? Here's my flesh also. Neo took a sharp piece of wood from his pocket and used it to slice a small piece of skin from his tail. He tied his flesh, a sample of skin, to a piece of string, and over the void. Just like before, the void ate his piece of flesh, too, instantly and without question. Maybe again. No, again.
Neo, are you okay? You're bleeding. Just what are you doing to yourself?
Lana and Axie had been watching him as he frantically cut off various pieces of his skin and fished them down into the void. His immediate reaction was of stark stress and of embarrassment, but his mind started focusing on what really mattered. Axie. Please, Axie, I need another sample from you. Just a small one. The skin of the bottom of your feet isn't doing anything special, right? You witnessed it, I'm sure. Please. The old sample, the one that wouldn't be absorbed by the void, is not working for whatever reason. So we need a new one. Wax cells regenerate skin amazingly fast. You'll have a brand new spanking foot skin by tomorrow.
Neo, get a hold of yourself. Axie doesn't have to give you anything to you, especially a piece of his own freaking skin. Don't be like Yank. Don't become unreasonable and demanding. Try to be mindful. You promised us that you were done listening to RB. This seems like the kind of thing a weirdo like him would come up with. A test or experiment or something in order to drive us apart.
Please, I'm at a loss with my research. Getting a piece of the skin, that's all I'm going to be thinking about for days now. You don't understand. Without that flesh, without Axie, there's no way we can possibly get back.
Get back to what? We talked about this. You have no idea what you're even trying to get back to. If you can give me a compelling reason, sure, I'll listen. Look, we didn't come here this afternoon to argue. We came here because we've been worried about you. You know, it might do you some good to take some time off. What if you just took a short break from your research? Play with me and Axie, just for a teensy tiny little bit. It'd be fun.
I told you guys, I don't have time to be careful about doing nothing. The more time I waste doing nothing, the more my momentum will fail. I need to solve this riddle and quickly.
We all read the messages you showed us. This probably isn't anything you can do now. It might be time to accept that. And live our lives here peacefully.
That's right, again. Don't you dare say something like that. You implied that I should just give up. I had common food. Some way or another. We've got to get back home. Maybe you, but not us. I know very well where this road will, with you, is eventually leading. At some point, you'll get a piece of skin off of me. And then at some point, you'll pressure me into the void, just like before. And I told you last time. Something like that just didn't happen again. I see, but these are my final words on. Those are my final words on this. Sorry again.
Look, from my end, I'm not telling you to stop researching, but you just look so run down and stressed. I can't help but be worried. Come on, take a break. I know I've playtime to recharge your batteries.
Do I look like I have an hour?
Do you look like you have an hour? Yes. Why, yes, you do.
All work and no play makes Neo a dull boy. All work and no play makes Neo a dull boy. And so on. Besides, again, you promised you'd play with me and never did. Remember? You remember? Huh? I did? When? The time when you made me go into the void. Now I'm catching in my check. Come.
You need to clear your head, Neo.
If I made a promise to you, then sure, I apologize. Fine then. What are we doing? Tag or something else? Checkers. We're gonna play some checkers, just you and me. Mano a mano. Did I mishear you? Nah, you didn't. Unless you did. I said we're gonna play checkers, Grandma. Checkers is a board game. I know what checkers is, but what? What the hell did you just say? A board game came to the void. And you guys didn't tell me. Do you even realize the amount of stress, the amount of work I've...
Neo, no. It's nothing like that. Come to my corner, and it'll all make sense.
Non's corner. When had he last been there? He'd been hyper-focused on research lately. From what he remembered, it looked remarkably plain. Much of the area of his former neighbor, Liam. But what he witnessed when he went over there was anything but plain. No, it's true. I don't think we've ever seen Nana's corner till now. This is... Nana, you're... This is genius.
Genius? I don't know about that. There's a lot of elbow grease. Oh, that actually helped a lot too.
When did you have time to make all this? Look at how intricately crafted everything is. All this stuff, this bed, this table, all of it was made from plants. The same plants that grow on the bottom of the tank.
Yep, that's right.
Even these shapes over here. How do you get that? How do you get plants in such a pattern? It's called trimming and trying it, kid. You should really try it with us sometime. It's actually quite relaxing. Are these seriously so many plants in this tank? How'd you pick all of these without me even noticing?
Oh, that's simple. After you pick them, the plants grow back. Each day when Axie and I go back to the same spot, the plants are there again.
The plants grow back? That's right, Aggie. They go back. The plants grow back. The plants grow back. This changes the ballgame entirely. If the plants go back, then that's an entirely renewable resource, which we have inside the tank. An entirely renewable resource with the to work, which opens up so many possibilities.
Neo, are you alright? You're spitting out just a little bit.
I'm fine. Just admiring your craftsmanship is all.
Well, I'm glad you like it so much.
This is just the beginning too, Egghead. You should hear the kind of plants that Lana has for the Uncle Jack to know as a tank.
Ah, actually, I'm flattered. Wait a second. You'll love the tank. You love the tank? Or do you call it a junk?
Uncle Junk. Ain't that just a fun thing to say? Blows right off the tongue. Neil was completely overwhelmed. All the possibilities of having an entirely renewable resource. Sure, he'd thrown plants into the void before. That was nothing new. But now he could do it haphazardly. Craft the plants into any shape that was necessary. And there were potentially many other uses too. Trying the plants and using them as tethers instead of using string. Creating a harness, barricades, even the plant barricade not too much. And even whole plant bodies, it's plants. It's plants. You can make all sorts of tools and materials. You'd study the growth cycle. And you need to write this down right now. Tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow. Tomorrow, I promise.
What do you mean tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I swear. We'll play again together tomorrow. Again, you promised. Tomorrow I'll play the double time. Triple the time. I'll play whatever game you want. This time, I promise. Your plans have given me an idea, and now I've got to strike the iron walls hot. Before they could reason with him, he was already gone.
Neo. No.
After learning that the plants in the tank were a renewable resource, Neil was filled with a myriad of wild ideas that flew off his mind into the page. However, none of the ideas did him any good. and the wellspring of wisdom had become dry only after a short 24 hours. Dang it. You stupid plants. There must be something else I can use them for. He'd been bridging idea after idea, experiment after experiment. He felt his mind running on overdrive. Every breath he took over the last few hours was filled with a deep exhaustion. Things were starting to become blurry. The world started to spin crazily around him. That's when he realized an obvious fact. He didn't even remember the last time he slept. But that didn't matter. The spinning world could wait. His exhaustion, it could wait too. There were still plenty of other ideas he hadn't explored yet. There had to be. What if we take the plants and craft them into a perpetual motion mechanism? That's right. We could use this new machine to automate throwing plants into the void. Dang. I'm gonna blow my nose real quick. Alright. How about now, Lobby? You could ignore us if you did that. Oh. And here's another one. I bet you haven't thought of, Bobby. This crack. Yes, the crack where Ank used to live. Maybe we just break it open and open the glass and see what's really outside the tape. If it's a renewable resource, then the possibilities must be endless, right? Right? Renewable resources are the best, the best, the best. There's no way my plans could already fungi. Not as long as something is renewable. God, that must be the sexiest word of all time. Yeah, it's not over yet.
Neo, please. Please tell me what you've been taking care of yourself.
Once again, they spotted him doing something strange, yelling into the crack in the wall near Ank's old corner.
Oh, well, actually, and I thought it kind of had to work today, and so, well, we're still worried about you. More than ever.
That's right. I really miss the old egghead. The egghead who did call me a moron when I made a stupid joke. The egghead who'd invite me into his dad. The egghead who'd used to hang out with me daily and brag about his ego. I don't know what's happening with him, but I don't like it. Not one single bit. Oh my gosh. You guys. That's right. He just remembered the promise he'd made with them to play a game of their choosing. Somehow, that promise had completely slipped his mind, even if he said it with the intent of keeping it. I promise that I'd play with you guys today, so let's do that. Today? Okay, that was more than a week ago. Me and Anna have even had a bet on whether you could... what bet? Whether you come each day?
Well, it wasn't a bet exactly. I think that since we're both optimistic people, each day we expected you to come, but you never did.
Has it really been that long since I was last in your corner?
Yes.
Gosh, I guess you're doing science. I guess when you're doing science, time just passes you by in a blink of an eye, huh?
So, Neo, what's it going to be? Are you going to play with us, or lie to us some more?
I'll play with you guys, okay? I'll play right now.
No. You know what? That's not acceptable either. Have you looked at the glass lately? Do you even know how much your own reflection... Do you even know what your own reflection looks like? You're a mess. Every single part of you, right now, is a mess. So go take a nap. Axie and I are used to waiting at this point. But just now, if you scud off again, and go researching after you wake up, then we're through trying. We won't bother you again.
I understand. I know, I really have been a jerk. I'm sorry. And thank you. I'll try to get some sleep now. Yet, even as he laid on the ground of his lab, trying to get some rest, his mind would not stop racing. He knew he needed to sleep, but it just wouldn't come, and he was starting to panic. That's when he noticed the two tiny blue pills next to him. It was the last of his promotional candy he'd once given to Liam. These little blue things had worked to briefly sedate Liam back then. but they had also somehow made Ink even more powerful when they forcibly fed him. He had no idea what effect it might have on him, but his mind wouldn't shut up. So uncharacteristically, without thinking about it too much, he gulped him down, hoping for some respite. Huh. How long was I out? He tried to reorientate himself. I'm so groggy this morning. I suppose that's my body needed. I suppose that my body needed rest more than I thought. The morning was peaceful, only for a moment. It didn't take long for a feeling of despair to dawn upon him. Home. It has to be some other things I can try. Because if we never get out of this tank, then will I have to deal with this emptiness forever? Eventually, the grogginess started to wane. He began to trace out the events of the last few days. That's right, I can't forget again. Axolotl. He hadn't meant to betray them or ignore their calls, but importantly, things had just gotten in the way. He needed to go over there, do anything in his power to make it up to them, because he had wronged them. Ah, hey there again. Did you have a nice nap? Just how long was I out for? However long it was, he had to record it in his notebook, or nobody else would. He needed to record that missing week 2.
You know, I haven't seen anyone sleep for that long since Liam first took that morsel candy. Yeah, yes, you slept around 13 hours.
Yeah, I was pretty tired. In fact, I still feel a little off. But I'm thinking a lot more rationally after getting a good rest. Look, I'm sorry, you guys. My habits haven't been too good lately. I'm not going to stop the frequency at which I research. But it was wrong of me to cut you guys off after making a promise. I want to make it better. So, with that said, how about some checkers? I'm gonna kick your butt. What was that, Axie? You heard me. You pace it like that. Kicking your butt is what I'm gonna do. So I assume you play checkers often, Axie? You fancy yourself as some sort of pro? Kind of pro. Me and Nana have been playing at least once a day.
Axie's actually quite good, Neil. I think he'll give you a run for your money, especially if you're using.
I'm not completely new. I think I can remember the rules a little. Those familiar shivers again. So, what are we waiting for? Axie led Neil over to a bucket overflowing with items, all of which were predictably made of plants. What is that food down there? I don't know. Out of the bag, he produced a board of pieces. Wait, I have food. Or a board and pieces. The pieces were cut and pasted into little circles, one of each color. Ah, this is craftsmanship. Why do I see chess pieces in this checkers game?
Uh-oh. He's excited about your artwork again. Last time that happened?
Axie, you're going down. Like a clown. If that's the manner in which you want to go down, then sure. No, Neil. It is how you... It is you who is going... Am I having a stroke? It is you who is going to go down. Do you think that the raddest dude in the world would be defeated by a mere egghead? How about this? If I win, I need to promise not to call me egghead for an entire day. Ooh, you're on, son. And if I win... Nah, you know what? We talked it over, and I'm not giving you a choice on that one. What do you mean, Axie?
Alright, I've set the goal for you guys. We're gonna have a clean fight here. No cheap one-hit cost counters. We don't want anyone to get punch drunk syndrome. What?
What if it's actually gonna make you play? Save. Just in case. No cheap one-hit cost counters. What's that supposed to mean?
And no external devices will be permitted in this duel either, due to fear of cheating. That means keep your gauntlets firmly on in A3W? What? Wait, what is A3? Wait. A3W. Is a naval reactor used by the United States? I don't... Okay. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Yeah, no monkey business again. And when I beat you, no crying, okay? You'll wait those woods, actually. Let's go. Nani? You had... Move this piece forward one space. How did you play checkers then? I didn't expect this level of play from you. I've got a newfound level of respect for you, Egghead. Don't patronise me, you animal. The two axolotls exchange blows, each moving one piece at a time. Who are the pieces and who are the players in this grand spectacle? However, something soon became apparent about the game. King me. King me, sucker. Bow down to your new king, peasant. King me. King me. What is this, like 5 kings? Jesus. Well, I can't say I expected you to be so good at this game. And the winner, by a considerable landslide, is actually the Axolotl. The crowd goes wild.
Scream! I win. Birthday! It's your birthday, Axie. It's your birthday. I admit defeat. But you know, I was only just getting used to this game. Again, and remembering the rules. I bet you don't even have it in you to beat me twice in a row. Ah! You are 300,000 years too early for a challenge me again. Bring it. The plant pieces were quickly put back into their original positions, and the two went at it again. This time, however, it was a much more closer match. It was a much more closer match. Well, I don't know. I'm starting to think the kid is an android. He's doing the impossible. He's learning. I barely won against that monster, but one day he might conquer us all if we don't set restrictions on his coding. See, this is also funny because they all code. What are you talking about, Axie?
Anyway, congrats. You won once again, but it was a really close fight that one time.
So, what do you say, Axie? Do you think you can win 3 times in a row? I doubt it. I think I'm just about finding my groove. Try me. I'll make you extinct like the dinosaurs. For a 3rd time, they battled. And this time, Neo was finally victorious. No! My precious kingdom of circles. All ruined in an instant. Good game, Egghead. Yeah. Good game, Axie. Do you perhaps want to play again? I thought you'd never ask. Neo's victory was much more apparent in the 4th game.
Nicely done, Neo. Well, it looks like you've got some real competition now, Axie.
Ah, all this game will do is make me even stronger. Now that I have a rival, things from now on will be a lot more interesting. Hey, you got that right. I'd have fun too. In playing with Axie all afternoon, you had at one point, completely gone to the spirit of the game. You even thought of RB or the Void or home in over a few hours. That must have been a new record. And hey, again, it's not just checkers either.
Yep, we've got a ton of other games and more in the works. Here, let me show you. Ta-da! Use tic-tac-toe, backgammon, and we even started working on something actually as called shoots and matches.
Ladders. Shoots and ladders. Wait. Right? I don't know. This is all made from plants, huh? You're impressive.
Yeah.
I should really go. Every day. What was that actually? Every single day from now on, I'm going to see you here again. No, I mean, I had fun today. But there's still research to be done. Get home,
It's only an hour a day, Neo. Think of it as punishment for breaking your promise to us so many times.
Alright. I guess you got me. Since I broke my promise to you both, it's the least I can do. And I've got to work. I've got work to be done now. So then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Same channel, same face. Neil scurried off to his lab. Juan and Axie grinned at each other as he left.
We did it, Axie. We did it.
Yeah. Oops. We did it.
I'm so glad. This way he's not gonna stress himself out so much.
Viva la revolution.
So what do you say we continue where we left off earlier? The more games we make, the better.
I hear you down and clear, my wonderful friend. Well, with that, stretch. I think I gotta call it there. Soap. Yeah, soap. Goodbye for now.